94% of Kyrgyzstan is mountains. Let that number settle for a moment. Nearly the entire country, every square kilometer of it, is above 900 meters. The average elevation is 2,750 meters. The peaks go up to 7,400. And almost no one goes. This is one of the great travel anomalies of the modern world. Kyrgyzstan has mountains that compete with the Alps for drama, a nomadic culture that is genuinely intact and living, extreme affordability, and visa-free entry for most nationalities. It should be flooded with travelers. It is not. That's your window. Number 1. The mountains are on a different scale. The Tian Shan Range, which runs through most of the country, contains peaks that dwarf anything in Western Europe. Khan Tingri, at 7,010 meters, glows red at sunset because it's composed almost entirely of marble. Jengish Chokusu, the highest point, sits at 7,439 meters. But you don't need to climb the high peaks to experience the scale. Drive 2 hours from the capital Bishkek and you're in valleys where the walls rise 400 meters on either side, rivers run turquoise from glacial melt, and the only sound is wind. The Ala Archa National Park is 40 minutes from Bishkek and gives you immediate access to serious mountain terrain. Hikers can reach glacier viewpoints in a day. More experienced trekkers can push into multi-day routes in the higher ranges. The scenery is genuinely world-class, and the park is almost empty by any international comparison. Number 2. Issyk-Kul is the second largest alpine lake in the world. Lake Issyk-Kul sits at 1,607 meters above sea level and covers 6,700 square kilometers. It is so large that it creates its own weather system and never freezes, even in winter, when the surrounding mountains are deep in snow. The lake's water is intensely blue in a way that looks digitally enhanced in photographs but is entirely real. The southern shore, backed by the Tian Shan, is the more dramatic side, small villages, fewer tourists, and direct views of snow-capped peaks reflected in the water. Solo travelers can base themselves in the town of Karakol on the eastern end of the lake. From there, day trips into the Tursky Alatau Mountains include canyons, hot springs, and one of the most dramatic red rock formations in Central Asia at Jeti Oguz, 7 red sandstone monoliths rising from green alpine meadows. Number 3. Nomadic culture is alive and accessible. Kyrgyzstan has the most intact nomadic pastoral culture in Central Asia. Every summer, families move their livestock to high-altitude summer pastures called jaylus, mountain meadows at 3,000 meters and above, where they live in yurts for 3 to 4 months. Staying in a yurt with a nomadic family is not a tourist simulation. It is an actual nomadic family's actual home, and you are their actual guest. You sleep on felt mats, eat from a communal pot, drink kumis around a fire, and wake up at high altitude with mountains in every direction. These stays cost $15 to $25 per night including meals. Nothing in European travel offers an equivalent level of cultural immersion at any price. Number 4. The trekking is some of the best in the world. Kyrgyzstan has been called the Switzerland of Central Asia, though the comparison undersells it. The trekking routes here are more remote, more dramatic, and infinitely less crowded than anything in the Alps. The Song-Kol Lake Circuit takes 3 to 4 days on horseback or on foot, crossing passes at 3,800 meters and camping in valleys where wild horses outnumber humans by a significant margin. The Ak-Su Traverse, the Ala-Kol Route, and the Trans-Alai Corridor are all multi-day routes of world-class quality. A local guide costs $20 to $30 per day. A horse costs $10 to $15 per day to rent. Camping is essentially free, the mountains are public land. The logistics are not difficult and most routes are well marked in the summer months. Number 5. Bishkek is a relaxed and underrated base. The capital Bishkek is a Soviet-planned city with wide boulevards, abundant parks, and a lively local food scene. It lacks the history of Samarkand or the drama of Tbilisi, but it functions beautifully as a rest base between mountain trips. Oak Park is lovely in the summer. The Osh Bazaar is one of the most atmospheric markets in the region. The local cuisine, lagman noodles, mantai dumplings, and samsa pastries, is excellent and extremely cheap. A full meal at a good local restaurant costs $2 to $4. The city has a growing number of good hostels and guesthouses, a functional public transport system, and good connections to the rest of the country via shared taxis and minibuses. Number 6. It costs almost nothing. Kyrgyzstan is one of the cheapest destinations in Asia, which means it's dramatically cheaper than anywhere in Europe. A hostel bed in Bishkek costs $4 to $8 per night. A private room in a guest house is $12 to $18. A yurt stay with full board is $15 to $25. Street food is 50 cents to $2. Restaurant meals are $2 to $4. A full week in Kyrgyzstan, including a yurt stay, 2 days of trekking with a guide, accommodation in Bishkek, all food, and transport around the country, is achievable for $150 to $200 total. Number 7. Visa-free and easy to reach. Citizens of the US, EU, UK, Canada, and many other countries enter Kyrgyzstan without a visa. The entry stamp is given at the border or airport and is valid for 30 to 60 days depending on nationality. Bishkek's Manas International Airport has direct connections to Moscow, Istanbul, Dubai, and several regional cities. The flight from Istanbul takes roughly 4 hours. From Dubai, about 3 hours. From Almaty, Kazakhstan, 1 hour. Getting to Kyrgyzstan is not as hard as people assume. And once you're there, the shared taxi network connects the country effectively. A shared taxi from Bishkek to Karakol, a journey of 350 kilometers, costs about $5 and takes 4 hours. Number 8. The people are exceptional hosts. Kyrgyz hospitality is structured around the guest as an honored figure. Arriving at someone's home, even a stranger's, you will be invited to sit, offered tea and bread, and pressed to eat. Refusing food or drink is considered rude. Accepting it is the beginning of a genuine connection. The nomadic lifestyle creates a culture in which meeting strangers and sharing resources is a survival skill that has become a social value. This translates, for solo travelers, into an extraordinary warmth that is not performative and not transactional. Most locals in rural areas speak Kyrgyz and Russian. English is increasingly common among younger people in Bishkek. A translation app covers most situations in the countryside. Kyrgyzstan is not ready for mass tourism. The infrastructure is basic, the roads in the mountains are challenging, and some of the remotest areas require genuine planning. But that is precisely the point. If you want a mountain experience that is completely authentic, almost unknown, and completely affordable, this is it. Subscribe for the next video. We're going to Armenia, one of the oldest civilizations on Earth and one of the most overlooked countries in the Caucasus. See you there.